So very warm welcome from my and the side of the Sri Sri School of Yoga team. Very welcome to our panel session, Ayurvedic Self-Care Routines for Yoga Practitioners at the Yoga Festival for Mental Health. And just a short few technical announcements. So whenever you have any technical issues, you can address our technical team in the chat. You just select the person who was named as tag, or you can also write to everyone. And for those needing translation, we are having 5 translations: German, Italian, Hungarian, Polish, and Portuguese. For finding the translation channels, you need to click on the globe, which you will find in your menu bar of the Zoom, and then you select the corresponding language. You might also find more information in the chat. Otherwise, just contact our technical team and they will guide you. Whenever you have any questions towards the session, towards the speakers, you can also feel free to use the chat. And in the end of the session, we will take up a few of your questions. So my name is Annette Donat. I'm part of the Sri Sri Tattva, Sri Sri Ayurveda team here in Europe. And I'm very happy that we have 4 amazing speakers, Ayurvedic experts with us from different countries in Europe, who will guide us into very interesting insights into Ayurvedic lifestyle, how it can be helpful for us, especially also as yogis or future yogis or even yoga teachers. And some of you who are joining us might be totally new in Ayurveda. Maybe you have just heard the name or you stumbled somehow into the session. Maybe you have already experienced Ayurvedic consultations, products, or massages, or you're yourself maybe even an Ayurveda expert. So everyone here is very welcome to be with us, to stay with us, and of course also to participate in questions. And for those who are totally new, just before we start presenting you who all is with us, and before we go in the question, just a very short introduction in Ayurveda for those who are really new. Like Ayurveda, literally translated, the best translation would be the science of life. And it's not just a science, it's theoretical science, but Ayurveda has survived already more than 5,000 years as the oldest medical healthcare system in the world. And that it's still present today. Otherwise, of course, we won't have the session. This shows how important it is nowadays as well. And also there was so much evidence who was proving that Ayurveda is so beneficial for human mankind to be still valid after 5,000 years around the globe, even though it's originated in India. But its principles are really practicable throughout the world. And you know, every one of us uses different technical devices. Like right now, you are also connected to a laptop or a smartphone. And you have so many other technical devices at home. And whenever you buy such a device, you will get what? You get a manual to know, to explore how this device is working. But what is actually the most technical machine on this planet? It's not our computer or smartphone, which is already so smart and intelligent, but it's us, our own body, our own mind, our whole body-mind complex. And Ayurveda, with all its practical guidelines, it's nothing else like the user manual for us. What can we do for our body, our mind, to be healthy and happy? And I myself, I'm practicing yoga and meditation since already more than 10 years. And from my own experience, I can say once I started to integrate Ayurveda into my daily life with different routines, also taking more care of my food, becoming more awareness what my body actually needs, not just what my mind needs or wants on my tongue. It really helped me to go deeper into myself while practicing yoga, but also to keep this awareness also in different situations in the day. So it really gave me some additional benefits in addition to my yoga practice. Like, for example, I've also experienced that my sleep got much deeper. Also in stress situations, I'm much more calmer, and the specialist is awareness to know and to feel what I like to eat, what my body actually requires or not. Also more listening to my body when it gets tired in the evening, not like earlier, just forcing myself to stay awake to finish some tasks, but more this holistic awareness about myself and enjoying a better life quality, I would say. And for this, I'm also very, very happy that today we have 4 amazing, wonderful Ayurveda experts with us, also called Vaidyas, who are all grown up and educated in Ayurveda in India, which is the motherland of Ayurveda. So you're getting some amazing insights from the home country of India, but our Vaidyas, they are all based in Europe since several years. And here in Europe, in different countries, they are also traveling. They are giving Ayurvedic consultations, pulse diagnosis, also online consultations, workshops, conferences, and much, much more. And today they will guide us on why and how Ayurveda, in particular Ayurveda routines, are important for you as yoga practitioner or yoga teacher to deepen your experience and to give another dimension to your life. So now I'm very happy to start introducing one after the other panelists. So we will start with Vaidya Dilbag Jindal. He is in his family already the 3rd generation of Ayurveda practitioners. And he also holds an MD in Ayurveda specialty in Panchakarma. And he was practicing and teaching Ayurveda in India already since 12 years before he moved to Poland in 2019, where he is based now. And besides seminars and consultations, he also gives detox programs and recently authored a book about Ayurveda, which got translated to Polish. So thank you, Dr. Jindal Dilbag, that you're here with us.
Thank you, Annette.
Then I'd like to welcome also Vaidya Rakesh Tsopi. He has also a master degree in Ayurvedic herbology. And as far as I remember, he also gets more and more knowledge about the European herbs as well, in addition to the Indian and classical Ayurvedic herbs. And he is also a Mama practitioner and teaches Art of Living courses since more than 10 years for breathwork and meditation. And since 2017, he's in Europe, right now based in Hungary, but also traveling in many other European countries, for example, Denmark, Sweden, Portugal, Spain, and many more. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Annette.
And then I'm also happy to introduce you Vaidya Abhishek Mishra, very specialized also in pulse diagnosis. And he's also working since more than 13 years with Sri Sri Ayurveda, first also in India several years, and since 6 years he is based in Bulgaria, but also traveling to Serbia, Macedonia, and Romania, for example. And finally, last but not least, our very dynamic Ayurveda expert, Monica Mohan, based in Italy. Also very delighted to have you here. And she's also very experienced and specialized in eye treatment therapies and Panchakarma, as well as a mama therapy expert and trainer. And since 2015, also traveling in different European countries, including Slovenia, Croatia, Serbia, Hungary, and many more. So very, very happy that you're all here with us. And as we know, it's a yoga festival session, and yoga and Ayurveda are both originated in India, but of course, very important for the entire world. So I would like to start giving my first questions to Dr. Vaidya Dilbag Jindal. So what is actually the relationship or the linkage between yoga and Ayurveda? Would you give some light on this, please?
Thank you, Annette, for such a nice introduction about Ayurveda, which you already gave. Beside that, I just want to say definitely we all are enjoying, we are celebrating Yoga Day here all over the Europe. 21st of June, it's officially International Ayurveda Yoga Day. And yoga and Ayurveda, they are both are very sister concerned uh, department of the medicine. They both are established already as the established medical science. So if we say Ayurveda, Ayurveda gives us the health, the happiness on complete aspect. And the same we get from yoga. According to Ayurveda, health is not just on the physical level. We consider health also on the psychological level as well as on the spiritual level or the emotional level. And if we go into yoga, the definition of yoga itself is yoga unites. So it unites all together the physical health, the mental health, as well as our emotional health. So they both are the same coin, but on the different aspect. Yoga and Ayurveda, they both are from the same root. Ayurveda prevents us from different disorders. The same we get the benefit from yoga. We get so many cures in different diseases, maybe the acute onsets of the disorders, maybe very chronic disorders. Through Ayurveda, we do so many detoxes, and the same we get in yoga also. We have Panchakarma in Ayurveda, but we have Shatkarma, the cleansing methods, in yoga as well as. And they both have preventive measures also. If we practice yoga in our day-to-day life, if we practice Ayurveda in our day-to-day life, we can prevent the further onset of any disorders. I also remember one sentence which defined yoga, yoga karamsu kaushala. It enhances our skill, and the same we get from Ayurveda. And here it's my pleasure to link in between yoga and Ayurveda. When a yogi practices Ayurveda, so the yogi can enhance his or her own yoga practices, yoga skills on the mat, on the yoga mat, as well as off the yoga mat. So this is like we can say, if we get integrated approach, yoga and Ayurveda, we really can enjoy our life in day-to-day manner, or we can celebrate altogether.
Really wonderfully explained. So I hope everyone is really now convinced that it's the right meeting and stay with us to discover more how Ayurveda can be helpful for you. And let's stay with you, Vaidya Dilbag. So as Ayurveda is also about finding back to the rhythms of our body, the rhythms of nature. What is actually the best time for yogi to perform yoga?
Very good question, Anil. Actually, we all belongs to the different part of the Europe and seasons, climate, the variety. We all belongs to the different culture, different food. So it's a very general question among the people. Which time is the best to practice yoga? Actually, if we see all the time, we can practice yoga in a broader perspective. But as you mentioned that we also connect through the nature. Actually, that's the purpose of Ayurveda and yoga, to tune up our life with the nature. And if we are in the rhythm with the nature, that means we all are happy and we all are healthy. According to Ayurveda, we have a very basic concept, that is Sarva Dravyam Panchabhautikatva. Whatever we see among us, apart from us as a human, as all the things, they all are the beautiful combination of five basic elements: earth, ether, water, fire, and air. These are the five elements. And among these five elements, again, we have another beautiful theory of three energies, the Tridosha. So Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And if we see our life as a yogi or as a general people, our whole life goes with the parallel with the Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Whatever we are doing, it's all are responsible from this three doshas, the three energies. If I will talk about the yoga practices, which time, so this Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, this energy helps a lot to organize these yoga practices. What are the yogas, asanas? What are the movements if we do during the yoga? They all are prevented, they all are skilled by the vata energy. If we have to plan our yoga practices, or if we have to be alert during the yoga asanas, or to take the strong determination that we get through the pitta energy, the fire. And after yoga, to channelize this energy or to meditate, we all need kapha. So this is the three energies which we can combine in our day-to-day yoga practice. Now coming to the timing. So in Ayurveda, we have the very beautiful concept of dinacharya, on which we all are discussing today, the daily regimen. So if we see our day from the morning till the night, when we wake up till we sleep, we can divide into the different hours according to the nature. And under the headings of these three energies, vata, pitta, kapha. So there are the certain hours when vata dominates, when pitta dominates, and when kapha is leading our life with the nature. For example, morning if we wake up before 6, it is very easy for us to leave the bed. After 6 till 10 o'clock, there is a time for kapha dosha. And this kapha dosha, it's made up of the water and earth, which gives us the heaviness. So to prevent this heaviness to come out of this lethargy, the laziness, this is the perfect time to start our yoga practice. Morning 6 o'clock till 10 o'clock. 10 to 2 o'clock, that's the second time when the pitta is dominant in our nature. And the same in our life also. So this is the time when we can plan, okay, I'm going to have my yoga classes on this and this time. This is the time to take a strong determination. This is the time to take the food and to prepare ourselves for the next. The third one, that's the vata time, evening 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock. This 4 hours is the vata time. And this time again, we can utilize for the yoga practices such as yoga nidra, or we can, instead of doing too much yogasanas, too much movements, we can just get into ourselves. This is a time, the beautiful time for meditation also, where we can sit into the meditation and the vata will be pacified. Again, in the evening hours, 6 to 10, this is also the kapha time. So if we are mobilizing ourselves, we are practicing yoga. So this is again preventing us for the lethargy, for the heaviness, and we can again enjoy our evening. So these are the hours in general, but again, person to person, according to their constitution, according to their vikriti, according to the season, we again can modify these timings.
Oh, thank you so much for this nice explanation how different timings of the day are ruled by different doshas or energies, elements, and what to do accordingly the best. Thank you so much. So then maybe let's go deeper into the Ayurvedic lifestyle. I would like to continue with Vaidya Rakesh Tsopi. So how exactly does a yogi benefit from implementing Ayurvedic lifestyles, routines in his daily life?
So the first thing that we need to understand that when we do yoga, as our Vaidya Dilbag mentioned, that we make Ayurveda and yoga together. They are just like the two sides of the same coin. So using only yoga is like just having only one wheel, but the second wheel is the Ayurveda. When it is supported together, that is when we can find the perfect balance. Now, each one of us, yesterday I had a small talk with our Sri Sri School of Yoga students, and they were mentioning that I asked them, why do you want to follow yoga? Many of them, they said that I want balance in my life. I want to deepen my practice of yoga. So most of the yogis, they want to make the experience more complete and more deeper. So this can be done with the help of Ayurveda. And as our Vaidya Dilbagji have already mentioned, that the day is divided or it is dominated with different energies, either vata, pitta, or kapha. Depending on that, we have to change our routine. So the best way to do that is to follow the Ayurvedic routine, which is most complete and holistic. And it is a lot of things to learn in Ayurvedic lifestyle. But today I'm going to give you 5 must-do lifestyle hacks, I can say, that you should follow in your yogic daily routine. And once you do that, then you will see that your practice gets deeper and deeper. So let's start with the first one. It is, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you have to drink a cup of warm water or lukewarm water. Now, if the season is very cold, then we use warm water. If the season is warm, like summer or something like that, then you should use lukewarm water. How much water to drink? 200 to 250 milliliters is enough. With what? With nothing. The tips that I'm telling you are suitable for everyone, because depending on your constitution, you may be allowed to drink lemon water, or you may not be allowed to drink it. You may be allowed to drink water with honey. You may not be allowed to drink it. So whatever I am going to say, everyone can follow it without any problems. So first thing is, you first rinse your mouth nicely and thoroughly, and then you drink a cup of water. Why do we do this? Because it helps to relieve constipation and it rejuvenates the body. The whole night, the body has been dehydrated. So in the morning, the body needs some water. That is the first thing as soon as you wake up in the morning. What is the second thing? We have to visit the toilet. And usually I funnily say that the toilet visit has to be successful, not just visiting and coming back. So to make it successful, we have to make sure that the urge should come naturally without forcing. And you should not be dependent on any habit like drinking coffee or drinking tea and only then you can go to toilet. That is not so good. And if you feel difficulties, then it can be eased by drinking a cup of warm water and walking for some time. It is very necessary to use squatting position. The way Indian toilets are used, the squatting position is very beneficial. If that is not possible, make sure that you elevate your legs. When you are sitting on the toilet seat, elevate your legs, and that helps for easy evacuation of the bowels. Why do we do this? Because it ensures maximum emptying of the colon, and that balances our vata. Being a yogi, we need to have a light body, and this helps us to bring lightness to the body. The third step or the third life hack that I will suggest is nasya, or putting drops of either sesame oil or ghee in your nostril. So what you can do is, it is very easy. Take the oil or ghee. You will have to melt the ghee if it is not melted. With the help of some dropper or just back of the spoon. What you need to do, either you lie down or just sit with your head tilted back and drop 2 or 3 of drops of the oil or the ghee in your nostrils. And be there for 1 or 2 minutes, slowly sit up, and then you can do your works. If you feel some mucus getting accumulated in the throat or in the nose, spit it out, clean your throat and nose. This is very essential for nourishment of all the sense organs. If you start doing this, you will see that your sleep gets deeper and your meditation also gets deeper. Interesting. So this is the third. The fourth one would be abhyanga, or we call it as self-massage. Now, it depends on your constitution and even in the season, which oil you need to use. But all these things we can discuss in detail during the workshops. So what you can do is you make the oil a bit lukewarm if the weather is cold. If it is very hot weather or warm weather, you can use the oil as it is. apply it all over your body and give a nice and gentle massage. And this helps to improve the circulation. This makes the muscles stronger. Sometimes we become a bit more enthusiastic. We do too much of yoga, and then we feel some aches and pains in the body. The muscles, they get sore. So Abhyanga or self massage is the best way to uh, balance this soreness of the muscles, and it makes your tendons and joints stronger. And there are so many researches about it, so you can find that it is really working, or it is really worth. On top of this, it balances vata. For a yogi, it is very necessary to make sure that your vata is under control, or it is balanced. The fourth tip that I would give is shower. Now you would laugh that what, shower is something which I every day do, but then when to do it, how to do it, with which water and what kind of temperature, all these things, they also matter. So as per Ayurvedic daily routine, it is necessary to take shower in the morning. Here in the Europe or in the Western countries, there is a trend to take shower at night before going to bed. That is okay, that can be done. But make sure that you take shower in the morning also. And taking shower could be done with warm water or lukewarm water or even cold water, depending on the weather or the season. If the weather is cold, make sure that you use warm water or lukewarm water. If the weather is cold, if you are using cold water for shower, it is definitely going to increase your vata and it is not going to help you. It will make your body more stiff. So we don't want that. And make sure that you do not use warm water for your head wash. Head wash should be always with lukewarm water or cold water. What happens after taking shower? It brings a sense of purity in the body and in the mind. You will see the difference. Maybe you can try it. Once you do your yoga session without taking shower, and then once you do your yoga session after taking shower, and then you will see the difference. That the whole body and mind is so fresh, and you feel that purity inside. Taking shower gives you strength and energy, and it is even good for heart. Did you know that? Just taking shower makes your heart healthy. And the last thing, again, I would like to mention our Vaidya Dilbag, what he has said, that evening time is for relaxation. So do not do heavy exercises or intense yoga in the evening time. The dinner should be around 6 to 7 p.m. and you have to go to bed around 10 p.m. Not later than that, because that will disturb your whole sleep pattern, and next morning you will not feel fresh. So if you are sleeping at that time, if you are having relaxed time in the evening, it ensures proper rest, and that is what is very necessary. The activity is necessary, but rest is as much as necessary as the activity. And then having a proper sleep rejuvenates our whole system. So if you follow these 5 things in your daily routine, you will see your yoga practices, they improve significantly. And if you want to know more about these things, we will let you know about this. Stay tuned to this Sri Sri School of Yoga or Sri Sri Tattva, and then you will get to know more and more about all these things. So thank you, Annette.
Thank you so much, Vaidya Rakesh. Really, really wonderful. Explained from the morning to the evening. And for some, you might already practice the one or the other, or you might be totally new and think, oh my God, this all in addition. Then maybe you just start implementing one by one. You try them out and you experience the benefits for yourself. So thank you very much again. And I think I'm quite sure another routine we are doing every day, even several times a day, is what we are eating. And coming to food, I would like to continue with Vaidya Abhishek Mishra. What would you advise or recommend to yogis? What kind of food is advised? You are muted. You would need to unmute yourself, please. Yes.
Hello. Yeah. So thank you, Anand. Uh, is it I'm audible? Okay. It's very important for all of us what we are eating every day. And when it comes to yogis, definitely it becomes very, very important. As we heard till now to our Vaidyas, they spoke how Ayurveda talks about a daily routine should be. It's for everyone to keep our not only physical body healthy, also to achieve mental, serenity, the peace of mind. And it once comes to the yogi, definitely the mind plays very important role how your mind is. It's not just doing some physical exercises. Yoga is not merely that. Yoga starts from do's and don'ts, from yama and niyama to achieve samadhi. So there is a beautiful quotation in Ayurveda. It says, Tam cha nityam prayunjit swasthyam enanuvartati. Ajata nam vikaranam anupattikaram chayatsi. It says each and every food what you eat matters a lot. It is very important to mind what you're eating every time. It's not simply that I ate today good, tomorrow I can eat something else. Because it determines not only our physical well-being, it also gives the nourishment to our emotion and thought. So whatever you are eating, it is also going to make your emotions and thought. So for a yogi, it becomes very important the food how it is obtained, whether it is obtained with violence or without violence. So definitely food should be fresh. Food should be vegetarian. Food should be easy to digest. Always you understand, the food when you are eating and what you are eating. So it is always recommended for everyone and especially for yogis to eat fresh food. Food should be prepared fresh, should not be kept for a long time, because food when it is fresh, it produces sattva quality. And what is sattva? Sattva is the peace. Sattva is eternity. Sattva is purity. So when food is fresh, it can be fresh vegetables, fresh fruits are freshly prepared, warm food. When food is kept for a long time, it creates tamas quality. What is tamas? Tamas produces lethargy, lazy. So some people they just struggle. They say, I cannot fall into meditation. I'm okay to do yoga because it suits my constitution. But when I try to do meditation, my mind is blasting. It becomes too much restless. Why? Because you don't know what you're eating. You're simply eating whatever is available. So this is definitely not recommended to the yogis. Yogis should mind every time what they are eating. Definitely, food should be fresh, pure, sattvic, easy to digest food. So that is very important to understand how a food should be for a yogi.
Very nice. And I'm sure one or the other could identify with sitting for meditation, but the mind is just running or feeling lethargic. And yeah, definitely important to watch out what we eat. And after having some instruction already, what is good to eat for a yogi, how often would you recommend to eat in a day, and also how much?
How much and how many times? Okay, very important. See, it's individually we have to decide how our digestive fire is working, whether you are really ready to eat food or not. If you are eating just because it's the time for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, this definitely Ayurveda doesn't work. So when somebody is hungry, that means your digestive fire is now ready to digest the food. It says, now give me food, something which I have to digest. But suppose if you're not hungry, what does it mean? That means your digestive fire is still in action. Whatever already you ate, maybe yesterday, late night, food was too heavy to digest and you're not hungry. So you're not hungry, that means definitely you should not eat. So it's individually, it depends how our digestive fire is functioning. So mind your digestive fire, mind your appetite, make sure that you are hungry. So when you are hungry, you must eat if there is a time for eating. Suppose now you say I'm hungry in the mid of night. Definitely it is not something advisable. So make sure that okay, now this is my time for lunch or breakfast and dinner, and I'm hungry now, I should eat. Now my first food, what I ate was heavy. Second food, I'm not that much hungry, so maybe I will eat light. It doesn't mean that every time there is a time for food and there is some delicious food is cooked somewhere and you are just running behind it. So what happens? It ruins your digestive fire. And for everyone to keep our energy good, to feel light, to feel positive, digestive fire plays very important role. You know, this digestive fire, which is digesting our food, if it is not good, definitely you cannot meditate, you cannot relax, you feel all the time lazy and lethargic. So how many times eating is only considered if you are hungry, but otherwise, if you have a habit of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you must eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in condition that you are hungry. If you are not hungry, don't eat. Now, outer sun is very important. It influences our digestive fire. So, as we understood with Vaidya Dilwag, he says, or even with Vaidya Rakesh ji, he said when the sun is strong in the morning hours, you know, the pitta time, that is the particular time our digestive fire is very strong. So this time, if you are hungry and you are drinking coffee, what you're doing, you're spoiling your gut. And you're spoiling your gut, making it acidic, and it produces inflammation. And this inflammation becomes, you know, root cause to invite thousands of diseases. So morning is the time when the digestive fire is strong, because sun is strong, you can eat good. But as the sun is dropping down, settling down, our digestive fire is also settling down. So then you mind it. So eat before the sunset happens. And if you're not hungry, you should not eat. It's better to skip. You know, as eating is important, skipping is also important. And when it comes that there is no sun is gone down, now there is a night. Now allow your body to relax. Let it get digested, whatever you have eaten. So when you do this process, you will feel more energetic, more positive, more relaxed, and more light. That gives really, you know, good result to achieve your end result of yoga and, to fall into meditation, and you will enjoy it. But otherwise, if you don't have a routine, anytime eating whatever is possible, you may really get disappointed and you may feel that I'm really not getting any result, whatever the yoga, meditation, and practices I'm doing.
Yes. Vaidya Dilbak, you'd like to add something?
Yeah, very nicely, Vaidya Abhishek Mishra ji said very beautifully that food plays a very important role in our life as well as yogi's life. But here, I just want to add one more point, which is very interesting. You know, keeping the things at the right place, eating the right food at right time, at the same time, the eating habits. When we are taking breakfast, lunch, or dinner, max to max 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we are spending. But if you are mindful during what you eat, if you concentrate on your food instead of watching the screen or attending some calls, answering something, or seeing the TV, if you give this few minutes for you, definitely you will feel the effect during your yoga practices as well as on the digestive process. So this mindfulness during your food, it also plays a very important role.
Very nice. Thank you for adding on this. So after we know what's good to eat and how important our digestive fire is, there's one proverb which came in my mind, because long time it was so often said like, we are what we eat. But this coming to Ayurveda, I have also often heard and read, we are not just what we eat, but that's we true. Are what we digest.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
It's so really, yes, that's why it was so nice that you also elaborated on the importance of our digestive fire. So thank you very much. And then coming to our lady, Vaidya Monika Mohan. So I also would like to ask some specific questions to you, because I assume we also might have some mothers or fathers or parents here in the Zoom who might think that's amazing. I can do this all for myself, but how about my kids? Like also already with yoga, can kids also become a yogi?
Well, I would say kids are already born yogi. We just need to nurture them and to enhance their abilities, their qualities. And with the knowledge of yoga and Ayurveda, we can really make this foundation more stronger As you must have seen small kids when they are born, they are already practicing some mudras, they're practicing some stretching asanas, so they already have this thing in their subconscious mind. And then in Ayurveda, as we know, the concept of Prakriti, which is our basic constitution, we get this Prakriti or basic constitution not at the time when we are born, but at the time of conception itself. So at the time of conception itself, there are some elements predominant we get from the maternal side, from the paternal, as well as our Vaidyas before they mentioned about the five elements, which brings together to our this physical body is also present in our environment. So at the time of conception, these elements also contribute from the external atmosphere. Then during those 9 months when the child is in the mother's womb, however, whatever she goes through, positive, not so positive events, all of it together, it contributes to the well-being of a child that is born. And then, all of these factors is very important. As per in Ayurveda, we also have a concept of Garbha Samskara, that the parents who are willing to have a child, they go through with this panchakarma and holistic way of a lifestyle programs to have, the seed which is going to be germinated has a pure and a positive energy already. And then, of course, after the child is born, there are different samskaras or different rituals, different age or monthly basis. We have that conducted, and with that, we as per Ayurveda, we give the, we are nurturing the sapling. What is being planted, isn't it? Because all of it is only about how you do the things in the very beginning, isn't it? Like in yoga, also, there are 8 limbs of yoga. Most of the yogi, you already know about this, isn't it? That is yama, niyam, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So, what is this basically? So, ahimsa, or this is the part of yama. So, which we already tell our kids, that they should not speak lie, they should not do any harm to other people, they should not steal. So, this comes in the concept of yama. Then niyamas means some kind of things that they should follow, that is to be content, they to be pure, there has to be some discipline needs to be followed, and then there should be a regular practice of keeping the learning done on everyday basis. Then is the asanas, that is the practice of postures. Okay, then it's the pranayama, about the breathing technique that you can teach your children. Then pratyahara is withdrawal of the senses. So, for example, as before the Vaidyas, they mentioned about when you eat, or when you do any of the things, it's not only about what you do, but how you do, when you do, with what state of mind. So, this concept we have to, implant in the kids from the very beginning. And as you see, what we do, we can teach our kids better, isn't it? Because we must preach what we practice. And that comes from the concept of ourselves to be following this ancient way of living, which can be naturally, practically implemented also in this modern world. Yeah. Then comes the dharana. What is called one of the limb of Ayurveda is to focus, isn't it? When we need to achieve some goal, our mind has to be with the proper focus and concentration. Yes. So for that also meditation is very essential. Breathing pranayama is very essential. Yes. And then is the state of samadhi, is the state of oneness, So when the child practices all these things, by learning from the parents, of course, uh, they will be, they are the future generation, isn't it? So if we are able to inculcate the right things from the very beginning itself, we don't have to do much of the things for the upcoming time, because many times, the parents also complain that the kids, they are very much angry, or they have mood swings, or they don't eat properly, they don't sleep in time, and then there are problems that comes with the age as they grow. So in order to avoid that, of course, there is a rule book different for everyone. Yes, but there has to be something in common, and these basic knowledge can really help, for each and every parents to follow the things in a proper way. And I tell you, it's quite simple and very much beneficial for the long term. About following the things with yoga and Ayurveda. It's not just to about the treat the things symptomatically, but the basic, uh, the basic principle of Ayurveda is also that we must not only cure the symptoms or the disease, but to maintain the healthy well-being in the long term. And that's what, uniting this two sister science, as Vaidya Rakesh ji very well said, it's the two sides of the same coin. Yeah. So if we really implement this knowledge and germinate the seed from the very beginning, we can bring to a lot of betterment for the upcoming society.
Thank you so much. Very interesting. Yeah, our born yogis. So we should also just look to them and get inspired. And what exactly from the tips also Vaidya Rakesh was mentioning, can the kids also follow all of these routines already from an early age? And yeah, how to inspire the children to follow this?
As you very well said, that we must get inspired from them, because they are born yogis, but nowadays, because of our stressful life and so much of difficulties, complexities during our adulthood and also in the parenthood, we become very stressed and very much there are a lot of emotional instabilities, which further, of course, influences our health in general. So we need to get motivated from them, because they are so loving, they're so positive, they are so natural in doing anything, So basically, of course, putting this dinacharya routine, as we mentioned before, by all our great Vaidyas. So this thing, of course, we must also put to our children from the very beginning. Yes. So, for example, um, for me as a doctor, as a female doctor, I always talk about not something to begin with the dinacharya, but already to start the things a night before, isn't it? Because what we do a day before will help us, or it depends on the well-being for the upcoming day, right? So for the kids also, this is very important to have their biological clock set with the proper time of having their last meal in the evening, and then followed by making them go to bed. So here, of course, we have to also understand the practical things here, so that we can adjust and modify some things also by as being a parent. Okay, so for example, you must have this time of eating probably much before 7:30, or 7:30, not later than that. Being it any kind of a season, being it summer or winter, it's best to eat much before 7:30 or 8, because that is also the kala or time of pitta. Okay, so then you can eat, and after that, after 1 or 2 hours later, that should be around 9:30, 10ish, already the child has to be put into bed. Before that, because I have seen also in Europe, as the Dr. Vaidya Rakesh already mentioned before, that here we have the practice of taking shower in the night. Okay, no problem, you can do so. But before that, it would be good if you can do some oil massage. For the kids, it's very good because it helps to make their minds more focused. It helps them to relax. Especially very simple. You can use some sesame oil, or for the summertime, it's good to use coconut oil. Many kids, they don't like the smell of these oils, so what you can do, you can mix some essential oil like rose oil, or you can put some sandalwood essential oils. So these things are very easy to use, of course, and this is very good for making them get calm. So just on the extremities, on the hands, in the feet, and then little bit on the crown part of the head, because this is the uh, as being yogi, mostly that this is the center of the seventh chakra. So this is a very delicate point also for mainly for the kids. So just oiling these extremities, also the navel. So if you just apply some oil in this extremes, it helps to improve the vitality of the energy flow. So the kids can go to sleep very calm and relaxed mind. And when they have a good sleep in the night, they get up with much fresh energy and more positivity, in the morning. Okay. So followed by the how to do the things in the morning. Of course, the first thing is to have some water in the morning. A lot of people, they have this habit of taking maybe something like juices in the morning. You know, it is healthy, but it is not healthy to have it in the very first thing in the morning, especially for the kids, because citric fruit juices or any juices, it can create a lot of weakness to the teeth if they take very first in the morning. So if the best is to drink just plain water, a glass of water is good enough. You can make it just lukewarm, that's very good. In the summertime, you can also have this habit of taking, for example, water which has been kept in the copper copper vessel. Okay, so this is very good because it helps to balance all the three dosha. And then, as Vaidya also mentioned before, Dr. Vaidya Rakesh ji before that, it helps to clear our system. It helps to, because a lot of parents, they have this complaint, my kid is having constipation, they don't have a regular bowel movement, what to do, should I give them this medication? Well, if just the plain water has a healing property, why do you have to give so much of medication, no? So naturally, taking this water can be very useful, isn't it? And then also, with the water, you not only clear your digestive your tract, but also it enhances to ignite the right fire. you know so with the proper cleansing, you will be able to also improve your further doshas, your pitta fire in the body. All right. And then, of course, this habit has to be implemented by the parents themselves also. Okay, that's very important. And then it comes to the inner cleansing. So there should be this habit of making them go to for clearing their bladder, for making them go for defecation. It should not be like, okay, they get up at 7, but they go to the toilet at 10 o'clock. Okay, so that should not be. We have to implement the things from the very beginning. All right. And then also the same thing has to be done in the night also before they go to sleep, because many parents, they have the complaint also that kids have a habit of bed wetting. What do we do? How to avoid these things? So first of all, we have to have this like a alarm clock. Okay, before going to sleep, you will go to pee, and then morning when you get up, you will go to pee. So you go for the natural urges. So when you have this biological clock adjusted with the time clock, things start comes in the rhythm. Okay.
Thank you
There
so
can also be some
much.
practices you can do, like also some stretching you can do after that. For kids, it's very good to do some Surya Namaskar, isn't it? As we already saw the picture before, you can make the kids do this simple basic asanas. It's very good for them. Okay, and then eating in the right proportion, as Vaidya Abhishek ji already said before. You know, you should make the kids eat only if they are hungry. You don't need to go behind them all the time. Okay, it's like many parents, they also have this thing, my kid is not eating enough, they don't eat this, they don't eat that. Well, they will definitely eat if they are hungry enough, and you should also make them eat what you eat. Okay, you don't need to go for all those packed food, or some kind of smoothies or such things. Everything which is simple, what we eat sitting on the table, they should also be made to sit. Okay. And also one more thing I would mention, as Dr. Vaidya Dilbagji already said before, it's also that very important. We should not let the kids be engaged in the mobile phone or in front of the TV screen, computer screen, watching video games or something like this. Okay, so what you eat is what you pursue. All right. So it has to be done with relaxed mind and just you and your food, nothing else in between.
Thank
Okay.
you so much, Vaidya Monica. Yes, and as you have correctly said, we as adults, we also should be a good role model for the kids, and the other way around as well. I saw Vaidya Dilbak, you would like to add something, or you
Yeah,
very
well, Monica
briefly?
said very nicely that, and as a parent, I have my personal experience to raise the kids. In my consultation also, when we talk about the kids, I prefer parents should know who they are. Then only we can be a role model for our kids. And to know who we are, Ayurveda gives us a very special diagnostic tool that's called as the Nadi Pariksha. And we, the Vaidyas from all over the Europe, we are there in your particular countries. You can just go on Shishi Ayurveda, Shishi Tattva, and you will find out the very easy way to know who you are. Who you are in the sense, what are the elements are there. So when you know who you are and how your life has to be, it's very easy to be a role model for the kids and to enjoy your own life. So here Ayurveda plays a very important role to understand yourself, to enjoy your parenthood 100%.
Thank you so much. Yes, very nicely said. And yeah, definitely thank you so much for all the wonderful insights on how Ayurveda can be beneficial for yogis and basically everyone, not only on the yoga mat, but also off the yoga mat for everyone, like grown-ups, children, women, men, everyone. So very nicely. And as we have said, these are general guidelines, but according to Ayurveda, everyone is individual. And to get individual advices, you definitely can go, as we said, go on the websites of each of the countries. Or even if you don't find, you can also contact us in info@shrishritatva.eu and you mention which country you're from or which of the Vaidyas would like to consult, and we will get back to you and guide you. So thank you very much to all our Vaidyas. Also, I would like to mention our technical team, the translators, and of course, everyone. Thank you so much for participating in this panel. And I would just shortly also guide you the next steps of the yoga festival. We will continue in basically 1 minute with the noon meditation with Swami Jyotirmaya. We will also have a slide for this and post the link in the chat as well, how you can go there. And after the amazing insights from Ayurveda, you can go back to your yoga mat and like this also digest all the beautiful information. And definitely you can always contact us. And we are here for you and wish you all the best with your yoga and Ayurveda practices. So thank you again to everyone and enjoy the rest of the Sunday.